Hi, I'm Jayma House, and I'm running for Catoosa Tax Commissioner. With an accounting degree and vast experience, I am your Republican candidate who is educated, equipped, and ethical. Visit my website, votejamahouse.com. And please vote House, starting with early voting on May 2nd. Thank you.
Hey folks, it's Sandy Self one more time. Wanting to remind you, I'm voting for Jayma House. I hope you do too.
Hello, my name is Jayma House, and I'm running for Catoosa Tax Commissioner. Along with my family, I share in your conservative Republican values. I'm equipped with an accounting degree and past experience as a CPA, auditor, and controller. I have a track record of community service throughout my career. For more information, visit my website, votejamahouse.com. And please remember, vote House on May 24th. Thank you.
Hey folks, it's Sandy Self one more time. Wanted to remind you, I'm voting for Jayma House. I hope you do too. Hi folks, I'm Sandy Self. I'm your former tax commissioner. You guys elected me in 1993 and I served you until March 31st, 2016. Thank you so much for allowing me to do that. Since I've retired, the one question that everybody keeps asking me is, who's going to take that position? And most people say, well, I don't know any of the folks running. Well, I do know the folks who are running, and I'm here with one of those candidates today, and I'd like to introduce you to Jayma House. I want you to get to know the warm, good Christian lady that I know and have known for a long time. Hi, Jayma.
Hi, Sandy. First of all, I just want to thank you for coming here and speaking with me. And I speak for, I think, all of Catoosa County when I tell you how much we appreciate your service over the years and how much we have enjoyed getting to know you.
Thank you so much, Jayma. I want these folks to find out about you, but there's one question that everybody really needs to know. What in the world possessed you to decide to run for tax commissioner of Catoosa County?
Well, I get that a lot. What are you thinking? But one of the first things I like to tell everyone is that I do have an accounting background, but that's not my motivation really for running for this office. I enjoy working with people. I've gotten to know a lot of the people of Catoosa County, going to church, working in the area. And I enjoy working one-on-one, and I'd like to bring the skills that I have developed in accounting and in the corporate world, and I kind of want to step back from the corporate world and bring my service here to Catoosa. I love this county. I've enjoyed living here, and I want to serve the citizens of Catoosa County.
That's great. That's great. Did I write that for you, by the way?
No, you did not.
Well, now you've told us a bit about your background, and I know you have been doing this kind of work for a long time, but I also remember that phone call I got that day that said, Sandy, are you really going to retire? And what would you think about me running for that? And you got my response pretty quick when I encouraged you. But, you know, just being a good person, because there's lots of good people running for this office, just being a good person and a good friend, that's not enough to really get the job done. We have to have some ideas and some things that motivate us to do a good job. Would you tell the folks? Now, it's just us sitting here, so you tell me about these things you've got in your mind that you'd like to see happen.
Sandy, I do think it is important to be able to deal with people and to be friendly with folks that come in. But for the tax commissioner office, it's a unique office for Catoosa County. It's a lot different than the other offices that we have. The technical side of the tax commissioner's office is can be very difficult. It's ever-changing. As most of you know, when you file your tax return with the IRS every year, there's always changes. The same happens in our state government, in our county government, and I think we need someone who is equipped to handle these changes and can understand the technical side of it, as well as relate to one-on-one to our taxpayers when they come in with questions.
You know, the tax office probably sees more people every year than any other office because they come for car tags and property tags. So with that, what do you see as the very main thing that you have to focus on?
I think the most important thing is customer service. I know that part of the job is accounting and technical, but the most important part is customer service. When folks are coming in to pay their bill, it's usually because they have a question or they want to talk to you about something. If they don't have a question, they know they need to pay it. A lot of folks will go online. Right now you can go online and pay your bill. You can mail it in. So if everything's okay and you don't have a problem, you usually do that. But if folks are coming in this office, there's something technical or some issue that they have and they want to be reassured. And I think the staff is very well trained right now, the staff you have, because every time I've been in there, they've been very friendly and very helpful. And I want to maintain that and keep them up to date with all the changes. And that would help all of us help serve our community better. And I think each person is important and they need to be treated with respect and dignity. And no question is too big and no question is too small that we can't help you with when you come to pay your taxes.
You know, we've talked and we've heard from some of the surveys and some of the projections done that said our county is going to grow and it's expected to just explode in the next few years. That can create a lot of challenges. And with that in mind, could you kind of hit some highlights of things that you see that maybe could be done to help to handle that? And as you know, it takes longer with every customer these days when they're trying to get a car tag or a car title. It takes longer. So can you offer some things that you see that might help to handle those kind of situations?
There are a lot of things that could be done. One of the main things that I would suggest, I see a lot of growth in Fort Oglethorpe. And I know we have a satellite office, and that's been a great accomplishment getting it there, where folks from Fort Oglethorpe can come in. They don't have to go all the way to Ringgold to pay their bills or to answer a question. But it is a much smaller office, and they're serving, you know, a large amount of the community from a much smaller space and with a smaller staff. So that's an area that I believe that we could improve upon. And when I say improve upon, I mean maybe a larger space. Maybe more staff there or have more times when that office is open. And what that would do by increasing the Fort Oglethorpe space, it would relieve some of the Ringgold foot traffic. And the folks in Ringgold then would have more time and alleviate some of the foot traffic and they'd have more time to work with each individual there.
One of the things that used to happen was the dealer mail, the title applications that came in the mail would go to Fort Oglethorpe. But Fort Oglethorpe's very busy now, and they can't do that. So expanding that office would certainly help eliminate some of that bog down when people come in.
Right, right. And that's my understanding from talking with some of the folks there is a lot of the dealers are coming through Ringgold. So by allowing another staff member to be in Fort Oglethorpe, the dealers that are closer to Fort O could then go there and have their paperwork processed and get their questions answered.
Good point, good point. Another thing that I'll bring up when you talk about expansion and changes and things like that, you know, that always brings the big thing that's going to happen right now in a few days, and that's the budget process. Every time we have a budget increase, that means somebody's taxes are going up. So that's always a concern. What could you tell me about that?
I've worked with budgets before. I've worked in corporations and helped departments manage their budget. But for Catoosa County, I know that we have tremendous growth. And of course, your budget is going to increase with that. But what you have to be able to manage is the rate of return for your investment. If you're going to invest, if you're going to hire and you're going to increase your space, of course that's going to increase the money spent. But if that improves your customer service and you get a rate of return on that, then it's a smart budget move. And with my history and my experience, I think I can evaluate each project and look at it individually and make sure before we do have an increase, is this something that is going to benefit our department and thus benefit the county and the taxpayers, and not just make a move, not just hire people just because I think I want to hire people, but to have a purpose and a reason behind each hire and a purpose and a reason for each expansion.
One of the things that I was very blessed with was being able to find some really good folks to work for me. Do you have experience in that area that would help you select good people so that they could be able to do this customer service you're talking about?
I do. Just let me say up front, I don't have any plans. I've had that question asked me, what are you going to do about the staff? That's one of the, a lot of concerns of the citizens, but I do not have plans to go in and have a whole new staff. That they are well trained, the people are there and very knowledgeable. The ones I've spoken with really know their business, and that would be crazy to go in and remove the people that know what they're doing. But going forward, as we increase our staff, and maybe some folks may retire or may move, so you are going to replace. So I've had to hire and interview. I've done interviews with several of the companies I've worked with. I've worked for a small business where the person doing the hiring, and unfortunately I've had to fire people before, which is not pleasant. But I have evaluated employees and
you know, that's very important. That's a big part of the tax commissioner's job. When Georgia established our Georgia government, they said there would be 4 constitutional officers, and the tax office, the tax commissioner, is one of those offices. So there's a lot of responsibility to the government, to the state, to the county, to the cities, and also to the citizens, and that includes selecting good people who can handle the customer's needs and can do the jobs that are needed. Well, I hope people are picking up on this. You're quite a bright young lady. You are very personable,
well,
very sweet. I'm really glad that you decided to run. Some people had said they just didn't know what they were going to do. I hope this gives them a real good idea. I've made myself some notes, Jayma. I want to ask you a few more questions.
Okay.
So let me ask you this. What kind of vision do you see for the tax office going forward? We know that the county's going to grow. We know that things are going to change. Things never stay the same. But are there some options besides maybe just the expansion in Fort Oglethorpe that you've been thinking about or looking at or trying to find out about?
There are definitely always other options to look at and consider. One of those, of course, always involves your computer systems. Anytime there's a tax change, you have to be able to upgrade, either install a new system or upgrade your current system so that it can handle that. So that's one thing. Expanding, maybe there's always going to be new equipment, new hardware, new software. So that's one thing I would definitely consider looking at, probably looking at that each year and evaluating it. Also, the training. I know they have good training for the personnel that work there and for the tax commissioner, but I would want to maintain that training even on customer service, not just on the technical side, but training individuals. And as we hire new folks and expand, I want to continue to keep the training and training them on customer service, making that a priority.
Well, Jayma, I'm just going to ask you straight out.
Okay.
Is this just something you're going to do for a little while and then move on? Have you got other political ambitions, or what are you really looking for in this?
No, I'm looking at this as a career. I'm not a career politician. I have no political aspirations to move on to a higher office. My background is in accounting, and I feel like that's where I can serve the county. That's what the gift that I have that I can offer to you. And I love working with people. I love meeting individuals. That's been one of my favorite parts of campaigning, is going door to door and talking with individuals. And I see this as a long-term career. As long as you would allow me to, I would love to serve Catoosa County.
I think that's great.
Hi, I'm Jayma House, and I'm running for Catoosa Tax Commissioner. With an accounting degree and vast experience, I am your Republican candidate who is educated, equipped, and ethical. Visit my website, votejamahouse.com. And please vote House, starting with early voting on May 2nd. Thank you. Hello, my name is Jayma House, and I'm running for Catoosa Tax Commissioner. Along with my family, I share in your conservative Republican values. I'm equipped with an accounting degree and past experience as a CPA, auditor, and controller. I have a track record of community service throughout my career. For more information, visit my website, votejamahouse.com. And please remember, vote House on May 24th. Thank you.
Hey folks, we're back. Had a little break there. Jayma, I wanted to let these people get to know you. I've known you for a long time because sometimes they just don't have the opportunity to talk one-on-one and get to know somebody. I hope they found out a little bit about you, but you know what, I think what we've missed though is about you personally. Would you tell the folks a little bit about where you grew up, what you did, how you came to Ringgold, and what you really think about Ringgold and Catoosa County?
Okay. Well, my name is Jayma House. A lot of people, I want to start with that. It's pronounced Jayma, like Jamie, but I grew up in a small town, Marion, Virginia. It's just north of Bristol. Lived there my entire life. My parents lived there. And I went to Carson Newman College, which is located in Morristown, Tennessee. I got an accounting degree at Carson Newman. I was there for about 4 years. And after I graduated, I had an opportunity to come to Chattanooga, Tennessee, and work with a company called Ernst & Young. It's a CPA and auditing firm, and that was a great opportunity. And I moved to this area. I was moving to the city. That's my parents were really concerned because I was moving to the big city of Chattanooga. And I worked in Chattanooga for several years. I worked at Erlanger. And then I got a job at a company called Synthetic Industries. I don't know if you're familiar with that. It's now part of Shaw and Propex. But that was my first job in North Georgia, and it was in Chickamauga. And I loved the people there. I just really enjoyed getting to know the people that worked in the plant, the managers, the office staff. They were great people. I enjoyed my time there tremendously. I met my husband while I was working there, and I moved to Ringgold. In 1999, we got married and moved to Ringgold, and I've lived here ever since then. And we have a daughter now. And as you know, when you have a child, you have a lot of concerns. But we looked around the area, and we chose Catoosa County because we both really love this county and love the people. And that's where I chose to raise my family, and lived here ever since. Currently, I'm working for a company called Tranco Logistics. It's a trucking and warehousing company. And it started out as a very small business and has grown tremendously in the last few years. But I go to Peavine Baptist Church. I know a lot of you are familiar with that. That's also a place that's shown a lot of growth. I've worked on their finance committee there. And one thing I've done that I really love is working with a Christian radio station in this area and helping with, they have an annual festival, and that is, I volunteer there, and that's just been one of the highlights. I enjoy contemporary Christian music and getting to know those folks.
I can tell you really like the interaction with the people. That's why I think you'd be well suited for the tax office.
Well, thank you.
Folks, if I could encourage you one last time, would you really consider voting for Jayma House? That's what I'm going to do, and I hope you do too.
Hi, I'm Jayma House, and I'm running for Catoosa Tax Commissioner. With an accounting degree and vast experience, I am your Republican candidate who is educated, equipped, and ethical. Visit my website, votejamahouse.com. And please vote House, starting with early voting on May 2nd. Thank you.
Hey folks, it's Sandy Self one more time. Wanting to remind you, I'm voting for Jayma House. I hope you do too.
Hello, my name is Jayma House, and I'm running for Catoosa Tax Commissioner. Along with my family, I share in your conservative Republican values. I'm equipped with an accounting degree and past experience as a CPA, auditor, and controller. I have a track record of community service throughout my career. For more information, visit my website, votejamahouse.com. And please remember, vote House on May 24th. Thank you.
Hey folks, it's Sandy Self one more time. Wanted to remind you, I'm voting for Jayma House. I hope you do too.